Hello guys, we have learned something called HTML. Okay, so we are going to learn now CSS part. Okay, so what is the HTML, guys? It is used to create structure. I have explained and we have learned what is HTML clearly, right? So now, how to design this structure? How to design the HTML part? Okay, so if you want to design the HTML part, we have something called CSS. Okay, so now we are going to design part. Now we are designing the web pages here, right? So if you want to design web pages, we go for CSS, something called cascading style sheet. Done. So HTML means structure of the web pages. Now CSS means designing part, makeup part. Okay, so let me continue here. So this is just history of HTML CSS here. He is the person Hakan Wingley who introduced CSS, okay, first time in the year 1994. Okay, so Lee was working with Tim Berners-Lee. So Tim Berners-Lee is nothing but he is inventor of HTML. Okay, so he's the father of HTML. So Tim Berners-Lee, okay, and Lee was working with the same organization. So and HTML introduced by Tim Berners-Lee and CSS introduced by Hakan Wingley. So why we use this? Okay, it is used for design purpose. Okay, it is used for what? Design purpose. So CSS developed to provide style sheets for the webs. Style sheets means stylings, designing part. Okay, just this is the basic history, guys. History is no need to remember. We should remember the concepts. Okay, so I am going. What is CSS? We will see now here. So if you observe, guys, already I have explained CSS. It is used to design the HTML part, design the structure of the web pages. Structure means what? HTML, right? So now if you observe this image here, okay, it is having muscles, eyes, okay, and skin, everything. That is CSS part. I have shown you one more image which was having only the skeleton part, right? So now here CSS stands for what? Cascading style sheets. Why we are calling it as a style sheets means it is just a sheet. Okay, so we will see later. Okay, what is CSS stands for? Cascading style sheet. So CSS describes how HTML elements are to be displayed. So this is the important point here. Remember, for example, guys, now we have learned whatever the HTML we were writing, so we were not applying any changes to it. So however they provided HTML, however they provided the same way we are displaying. For example, okay, if I want to apply the background color, I was not applying. If I want to place my element, for example, right side of the web page, center to the web page, top of the web page, it was not possible. Why means always whatever you were entering, it was displaying only on the left side in HTML. Why means the HTML behavior is like that. So now with the help of CSS, you can decide how you can display the elements on the web page. So where you want to display the element, what will be the color of the element, whether you want border or not, okay, whether you want shadow or not, like that you can describe how the elements are to be displayed on the web page. Then next, CSS is the language for describing presentation of web pages, including colors, layouts, fonts. Okay, so presentation, to present the HTML, we use CSS, guys, and it's a very awesome technology with the help of which you can design the web pages. Then, so what is the difference between HTML and CSS here? So CSS, cascading styles is dictate your website's look and feel. Look and feel means how the website looks. Okay, so CSS decides it. How the website looks, who decides? CSS decides. Then, so HTML means what? Hypertext language. Okay, markup language is the building block of web page. Building block means what? Structure of the web page. So remember, HTML is only structure. CSS decides how the HTML structure to be displayed on the web page, right? So next we will move to this slide, guys. So if you observe here, see guys, we learned HTML. Now we want to design the HTML part, right? We have to design the HTML part now. So if you want to design the HTML part, guys, okay, so we have CSS, right? So to add this CSS, okay, to the HTML part, we can add in three ways. Then, so I want to add the CSS to the HTML, okay. So I'll add it in three ways. Then I'll add it in three ways. You can add in three ways, guys. So this is one of the interview question also, guys. They'll ask an interview, okay. So in how many ways we can add CSS to HTML, or else what are the three types of CSS? Then, so what are the three types of CSS? They'll ask. Then, so now if you observe here, guys, if you observe here, we have three types of CSS. We can add, okay, CSS to the HTML in three ways, okay. Inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So in the next slides, okay, we will see all the CSS one by one, guys. So concentrate now. So observe here, guys. First we will see inline CSS. Observe here. An inline CSS may be used to apply a unique style for a single element. So remember, inline CSS why we use? To apply unique style to the single element. That means you can apply, okay, CSS, inline CSS only, okay, to the single element. So when I execute, you will understand what I am doing here, okay. So next, to use inline CSS, we have to use style attribute. See, style attribute we have to use to the relevant element. The style attribute can contain any CSS property and value. How to add style attribute? You know already how to add, okay, attributes, right? Similarly, if you observe this example here, we have a h1 tag here. So I am adding, okay, style attribute. So why we use this style attribute? To add inline CSS, guys. So inline CSS how to add? With the help of style attribute is equal to color colon aqua. I pass in double quotes. You should pass CSS property name colon the value of that property, okay. So color is my CSS property, value is my aqua, okay. So see, observe here again I am passing. So how to add inline CSS? With the help of style attribute is equal to in double quotes CSS property name colon, okay, the values. So we have multiple CSS properties, multiple values, okay. In future sessions, so we will come to know what are the different types of properties and what are the different types of values we have this, right. So now if you observe here, see, there is a note, see, colon, okay, we are separating the CSS property and the value with the help of what? Colon. So now at the end we are passing semicolon. Observe here, there is a note. See, if we have a single CSS property, this is my single CSS property, only color property is there, right? Or CSS property is the last property. So if it is the last property, guys, last means consider I am passing multiple properties, okay, then I am telling, then semicolon is not mandatory, okay. This note one also I will show you. So first let me execute this, okay, let me execute this. I'll go to VS Code. See, I will be having, okay, some paragraphs here. So I'll pass here, welcome to, okay, CSS session, welcome to CSS session. So let me copy this and I'll paste this multiple times. So here I'll pass welcome to, okay, HTML session, welcome to JS session, welcome to Angular session. So now if you observe, guys, here, so let me execute this first. So I'll copy the path here and go to the browser and paste the path. So now observe here, guys, we are getting here, yes or no? So we are getting welcome to CSS session, welcome to HTML session, welcome to JS session, welcome to Angular session, right? So we are getting here, okay, multiple, okay, paragraphs. We added 4 paragraphs, we are getting 4 paragraphs here. Now I want to apply some color to this paragraph, right? So with the help of inline CSS, I'll add some color to this paragraph guys. So observe here, so how to add? We have to use style attribute, okay? So is equal to, in double quotes, CSS property name, okay, colon, I will pass the value of this CSS property, I'll pass red as the value. Then so at the end you should pass semicolon. Then so you should pass what? Semicolon here. So I am passing semicolon. So save this, okay, go back to the browser, so reload the page. So now observe here, the first paragraph color is changed to red. Then the first paragraph color is changed to red here. So now guys, okay, now guys observe here, now we have multiple paragraphs here, yes or no? Paragraph 1, 2, okay, and 3, 4 paragraphs we have, okay, even we have 4 paragraphs. What is happening here? So the color is going to apply only to the first paragraph here. If you observe the output here, see, so we have 4 paragraphs. So I am passing style is equal to color red for the first paragraph, right? So here the color is applicable only to the first paragraph. So we have seen the definition of inline CSS here. Observe here. So inline CSS used to apply unique style for a single element, guys. Okay. So observe here, it is applying, okay, CSS property only to the single element, right? So here we are passing style attribute. So whenever we apply style attribute to any tag, the properties will be applicable only to that particular tag. Even we have multiple paragraphs, it is not affecting other tags with the same name. See, we have multiple paragraphs, right? It is not affecting any other tag with the same name. So inline CSS means what? So it is limited only to one particular tag base. Okay, so it is used to apply CSS property to the single HTML element. So it is a single HTML element, yes or no? So it is used to apply the CSS properties to the single HTML element. Okay, so this is inline CSS guys. Sir, I want to apply, sir, to this also, sir. Okay, so I'll go with style is equal to, okay, color red, guys. Okay, style is equal to color red. Now again I am using inline CSS here. Again I am using inline CSS to this paragraph, so it is going to applicable, okay, the red color will be applied here, guys. Then observe here, the red color will be applied here. Save this and reload the page here. So the color is applied. That means what is happening whenever we use inline CSS, okay, so the properties will be applicable to the single HTML elements. Then, and how to add inline CSS? With the help of style attribute. Remember, inline CSS means only one particular tag, right? So now we will move to external CSS, guys. Okay, see, again I want to apply, sir, some color to this, sir. Style is equal to color red, I'll pass. So if I pass such style is equal to color red, what will happen? It is going to apply color, okay, to this paragraph also. If you want, you can observe the output here. So let me reload the page. See, the output is applied here, yes or no? The color is applied. That means wherever you are passing this, there only the properties are applied. Then, sir, I want to apply for all the paragraphs, sir. I want to apply for all the paragraphs. So you pass inline CSS color, okay, colon red again. Save this and reload the page. So all the paragraphs in red color. Why means, so wherever you pass this inline CSS only to that particular tag, the properties will be applied, guys. Then so now here we will go for internal CSS, next part. Okay, second CSS we will see. So if you observe here, guys, the same code we are repeating 4 times, yes or no? The same code we are repeating 4 times. See, whenever we repeat the code for multiple times, the same code if we are repeating, it's not a good practice. we should not repeat the code again and again, guys. It okay. So why means, see, the code is not looking good. Then so we are repeating the same code again, and style color red, style color red, style color red 4 times. So it's not a good job, it's a donkey work, guys. Donkey work means it's a waste. We should not do this. As a developer, we have to write a code, okay, in such a way that it should be applicable for all the, okay, tags. So now to avoid this inline CSS, okay, so see, to avoid this inline CSS, we go for something called, okay, internal CSS, guys. We go for something called internal CSS. Observe here, internal CSS is defined within the style tag inside the head section of HTML page. So internal CSS means what? Inline CSS means we use style attribute. Internal CSS how to add? With the help of style tag, and it should be inside the head section of an HTML page. Okay, so you know, right, style tag should be inside the head section. I have explained the starting, okay, sessions of HTML, right? So now observe here, consider I am having 3 files here: index.html, gallery.html, home.html, right? How to add this? Okay, so observe here, so you observe this, I will execute and I will show you, okay, how it will be done. So concentrate here, guys. So I will remove this style tags. Done. So save this here. So now I have one more file, I think. So I will go to that file here. So okay, I am having rcb.html. Done. So now what I do in RCB also, I will create some paragraphs. Okay, so here I will pass MongoDB. Then here I will pass Angular. Then here I will pass React JS. Then I will pass Express.js. So I am passing some paragraphs in rcb.html also, guys. So let me copy this, copy part, and execute this file. Okay. So observe here, guys, this is my rcb.html, right? So now I'll go to my index.html page. So I want to apply red color to all the paragraphs. So what I do, okay, how to add internal CSS with the help of style tag. Then so here, see, guys, I want to apply color to the paragraph tag, right? So tag name is what? P. So you should use the tag name. Okay, so you should use the tag name here, P. Then so P is my tag name. Then provide on space, use curly brackets. Okay, use curly brackets, pass CSS property name. The CSS property name is color, and the colon I will pass colon, and the value as red. Then semicolon. So now in the same way, however we added for inline CSS, in the same way we are adding the properties, but remember here it should not be inside double quotes. Okay, if you pass inside double quotes, you will get an error. Then so what I am doing here, I am using style tag. So style tag, why we use? To add internal CSS. It should be inside head section only. So now whatever the tag you want to apply the color red, so I am passing the tag name here P. Okay, so this is my tag name P here, and space curly brackets CSS property name and the value here. So what will happen, guys? This will be going to, the color red will be going to applicable to all the paragraphs present inside the body tag. So why all the paragraphs means we are selecting paragraph here, tag name. Yes or no? So this color red will be applicable to all the paragraphs of this body tag. Done. So now if I observe here, save this, go back to the browser. So reload your page. See, it's applicable. Sir, okay, let me change the color, sir. Okay, I'll make it as green, sir. So observe here, if I change it to green, save this, okay, and reload the page. See, the color is changed to green here. Then, so now observe here guys, observe here, we are applying, okay, internal CSS in which file? Index.html file, right? Now we have paragraphs, so internal CSS is going to applicable to all the tags which is present inside the body, right? So now inline CSS means what? Only one particular tag. Internal CSS means, okay, one document. See, whatever the paragraph tags present inside this document, it is going to apply this, okay, color green. Similarly, if I go to rcb.html guys, okay, so we have, okay, rcb.html here. So let me reload this page, rcb's page here, reload the page. So why it is not applying green color? So why it is not applying green color? Why means guys, so you have used internal CSS here. So internal CSS means what? It is applicable, okay, only to one HTML document. Okay, the internal CSS limited to what? One HTML document. It is limited only to index.html. Now inline CSS means only one tag, internal CSS means only one document. So even you have paragraphs in RCB, it is not applicable, the color is not applicable. Why means this is a different document, right? So internal CSS is limited to what? Same document, okay, single document. Inline CSS single HTML tag, internal CSS single HTML document. Okay, so if you want the same color for this RCB's paragraph also, you should pass, okay, here the internal CSS again. Now what will happen? The color green will be applicable to all the paragraphs of RCB also. If you want, you can reload the page. Done. So this is internal CSS. That's what I have explained in this slide. See, we have multiple, okay, pages here, 3 different pages. So whatever the properties we are applying here, it is limited only to that particular HTML file. That means internal CSS is limited only to one HTML document. I hope everyone understood. Now we will see something called external CSS guys. See guys, if you observe here rcb.html and index.html, so we are writing the same code again here, yes or no? So we are writing here the same code again, color green in both the pages, right? So again we are repeating the code, same code here. So we should not repeat the code here, right? So what is happening here? If we use inline CSS, it is applicable only to one single HTML, okay, tag. Internal CSS to single HTML document. Okay, now we have to write a code in such a way that it should be applicable for all the types of, okay, documents. So we have to write a code in such a way that it should be applicable for all the documents. So we don't go for, okay, internal CSS, or else we don't go for inline CSS guys. So remember, in IT industry, okay, in IT industry we don't use inline CSS, or else we don't use internal CSS. Just it's part of CSS, you should, okay, explain. And this is the one of the interview question guys. So what are the 3 types of CSS, or else in how many ways we can add CSS to HTML. Done. So now we don't use inline CSS, or else we don't use internal CSS. Always we go with something called external CSS guys. Okay, what we do here, always we go with what? External CSS. So it's defined within the link tag inside the head section of an HTML page. So first I'll execute this, then I will show you. Concentrate here. First I'll execute here. So see how to create external CSS guys. Concentrate how to create external CSS. So you have to create a separate file. If you want to add external CSS to HTML, you have to create a separate file here. So once you create the separate file, okay, so here you should pass, okay, .css extension. The file extension should be what? .css. Okay, so you can provide any name to the file. For example, I will pass style as my name. See guys, you can pass, okay, the name whatever you want. You can make it as your name also. Okay, you can pass okay, any p1.css, p2.css, okay, or else okay, demo.css, okay, test.css, whatever you want you can pass, but the extension should be what? .css. So I'm passing some standard name as style.css, right? So now what I do here, so we have to create a separate file with .css extension. Done. So the properties which you have written in internal CSS, okay, the properties which you have written in internal CSS, the same properties you should write in the external CSS file base. See, the same properties whatever you have written in internal CSS, the same properties I am writing in external CSS. See, in the same way I am writing. So I am selecting here paragraph tag, right? Okay, so I want to apply color green to the paragraph tag. Then so let me save this here, let me save this. Okay, so how to use these properties, okay, in my HTML documents, how to use these properties in my HTML files. Okay, so guys, we have created one external CSS file and we are adding some color green to paragraph tag. So how to use this, okay, how to use this inside, okay, other documents. So observe here, we have to use something called link tag. Done. So link tag we have used already to add the icon of this web page. To add this icon, okay, we have already used this link tag. Done. So now we are using this link tag to add, okay, external CSS file. So this href is going to accept now, okay, the external CSS file. So the external CSS file we have in my same folder. I'll go with // here and I'll select style.css. So /style.css is nothing but, okay, my external CSS file. You know /y, it's present in the same folder, right? So and the relation is what here? Style sheet you should pass. If you are adding icon, relation should be icon. href is going to accept the image. Now we are adding external CSS here. So relation should be style sheet and href should be, okay, the CSS file. So once you add this with the help of link tag, observe here. So when I reload this page, guys, okay, so the color is applicable here. Yes or no? So similarly, sir, I need for, see, RCB's color is black now. So sir, I need, okay, green color to all the paragraphs of RCB also. Already I have used, okay, I have external CSS here. Just what I should do, I should link here with the help of, okay, link tag. So /, okay, I'll pass here style.css. So this relation, okay, mandatory it should be what? Style sheet only. Then so when I go back here, if you reload the page, see, observe here, the color is changed. So see guys, like this you can add this CSS, external CSS, to multiple thousands, crores of pages. It will be applicable, right? That means what we are doing here, we are writing the code only once here, we are writing the property only once, and we are applicable, okay, we are applying to multiple documents. Okay, in future, sir, I want to change the color, sir, okay, I want to change the color of all the paragraphs, sir, okay. So for example, consider you are developing one website, okay, in future you are developing one website. In that website what will happen, guys? So you have to add, okay, you have to add some, okay, color to the paragraphs. Consider there are okay, some 10 web pages or 20 web pages or 100 web pages. Concentrate. So if you observe this slide here, here we have some 3 files, right, and we have one external CSS. Consider in real-time application we have 1000 pages. In all the 1000 pages, I want to apply red color to my paragraph. So anyhow I use internal CSS. Internal CSS means what? In every page I should use style tag. I used internal CSS and I applied, okay, red color to all the paragraphs for all the thousands of web pages. That means 1000 web pages are there, 1000 internal CSS are there. So in future, okay, your team leader or your manager will ask you to change the paragraph colors from red to green, okay, for all the thousands of pages. If you have used internal CSS, you should visit each and every page and you should, okay, change the colors, okay, you should change the color. For example, observe here, So if you have used internal CSS, okay, if you want to change, you should visit this page, you should change the color. If you want to change, you should visit this page, you should change the color. But if you have used, okay, it will take too much of time, right? But if you have used external CSS, so just, okay, instead of changing in every pages, just go to this external CSS, change it to, okay, purple. For example, I want to change the paragraph colors to purple. So observe here, wherever you imported, see, I imported here, yes or no, in this file I imported in rcb.html also. Wherever you imported, in all the files, okay, the color will be changed to purple. So in industry, always we maintain external CSS, guys. We don't maintain internal CSS. Okay, in industry, always we maintain, okay, external CSS. We don't go for internal CSS, or else we don't go for inline CSS. Okay, so sometimes we use inline CSS. Why means, observe here. So consider, okay, if you use here external CSS, see, we are using purple color for paragraphs, yes or no? So what is happening here, it is going to apply purple color to all the paragraph. Now I don't want, okay, for React.js I don't want purple color, then I'll go with what, style attribute, I'll pass color is equal to, okay, hot pink color I'll pass. So save this. So what will happen, guys, so it is having inline CSS as well as you are importing external CSS, okay. And what will happen, if you observe here, see, the color hot pink will be applicable here, guys. So the color hot pink will be applicable. Done. So sometimes we use inline CSS, guys. Always we go with what, external CSS file, okay. We don't use internal CSS. Sometimes we go with inline CSS. Why means, it overrides the properties of external CSS as well as internal CSS if the properties are same. See, color is same property here, yes or no? Color is the same property. So if you want to override the external CSS properties or internal CSS properties, then we go for inline CSS, or else always we use what, external CSS, guys. Okay, so now you can add multiple external CSS, guys. You can create multiple external CSS file, you can add multiple external CSS files to HTML document. Okay, so a single HTML document can have multiple external CSS. So just I'll revise this. So we can add CSS to the HTML in 3 ways. So before that, why we add CSS, why we use CSS, for designing purpose, to design the structure, to represent the elements however we want on the web page, right? So if you want to add the CSS, we have to add, okay, in 3 ways. So first one is inline, then internal, then external CSS. So inline CSS means what, we add with the help of style attribute, and it is limited only to one HTML tag. Internal CSS means what, we add with the help of style tag, okay, and it is limited only to one HTML document. So external CSS means what, we have to create a separate file, we have to write the properties in that, and we have to add with the help of link tag, and wherever we are adding link tag, it will be applicable, okay, to all the documents. So always in industry we use what, external CSS more. Sometimes we use inline CSS to override the properties of external CSS. So please go through these slides once. The same thing, okay. See, external CSS can be used inside all the HTML pages by using link tag. So if you observe here, see, internal CSS is limited only to one HTML page. Okay, so this one we will see this note, okay, how to use semicolon, not mandatory, all these things we will see in next session, guys. Okay, so please be practice. I hope you understand. Thank you. Bye bye.